A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Episode 1, the year 1775.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way.
Buried? How long?
Almost 18 years.
You had abandoned all hope of being dug out.
Long ago.
You know that you are recalled to life.
They tell me so.
I hope you care to live.
I cannot say.
Buried? How long?
Almost 18 years.
I hope you care to live.
Ho-ho! So there! One more pull and you're at the top, you beauties! And be damned to you, for I've trouble enough to get you to it. So, then... Joe! Joe!
I hear ya.
What o'clock do you make it, Joe?
10 minutes, yeah, a good 10 minutes past 11.
My blood, and not the top shooters yet! Get on, damn you!
Hey, did you hear of the York coach then?
Nothing!
Just stopped, they say, near the Heath. And wasn't the coachman shot through the head? Some say the captain was seen and known to him, poor devil.
Gossip!
No, 'tis the truth. I heard it from a man in the Ollies.
You hold your pistols to the ready then, Joe, and give no chance to anyone.
I never used him before.
There was a mail taken last week. Nothing said. Get up with ya! Damn mud! Guard shot, three dead, and was shot through the head for his pains. Failure of his ammunition, it was said. Get up! Joe, they'll have to get out and walk it up, or we'll never reach the top of daybreak.
Well, what's to do now, coachman?
You'll oblige us by getting out and walking, sir, or we'll never reach the top of shooters.
It's filthy out there and wet.
And muddy, too. Hurry, sir. I've no liking for standing still with highwaymen about the Dover Road like the plague. Easy now. Walk it.
3 passengers, then, were plodding up the hill by the side of the mail. Not one of the 3 could have said from anything he saw what either of the other 2 was like, and each was hidden under almost as many wrappers from the eyes of the mind as from the eyes of the body.
God's life, what a night!
You have the time, sir.
Oh, I can't hardly see my hand before my face, sir. You want the time? Find your own watch, sir. Damn the coachman!
In those days, travellers were very shy of being confidential on a short notice, for anybody on the road might be a robber or in league with robbers.
Come on, sir. It's but a step to the top and then down to Dover all the way.
Joe?
What?
Joe?
What is it, Tom?
Listen. I say a horse or the cant are coming up, Joe.
I say a horse and a gallop, Tom. Gentlemen, in the King's name, all of you, inside with you.
Your pistol.
Ready? Inside, gentlemen, if you please.
Come on, sir, get yourself. Get in, sir, get in!
Oh, have a care, sir. I have my foot on the...
Be damned to your foot, sir, get in!
Hold on, Tom. We'll wait for him now.
Is that the Dover Mile?
Stand off! Stand off or I'll fire, I say!
Is that the Dover Mile, I say?
Never you mind what it is. What are you?
Is that the Dover Mile?
Why do you want to know?
I want a passenger if it is.
What passenger?
Mr. Jarvis, Lorry! You hold where you are!
Should I make a mistake, it could never be set right in your lifetime. So stay where you are.
Gentleman of the name of Lorry! Answer!
What is the matter? Who wants me? Is it Jerry?
I don't like Jerry's voice if it is him. He's a hoarser voice and
Mr.
suits me as
Lorry,
Jerry.
Sir! A dispatch sent you from over yonder! Telson and Company, sir!
Guard, I know the man. I know him.
We do not, Mr. Lorry, if that's your name. Guard, you look to it. I've a pistol here, Mr. What's-your-name.
He may come closer. There's nothing wrong.
I hope there ain't. Hello, you.
Hello, you two!
A foot pace, mind me. And if you has ulcers to that saddle of yours, don't let me see your hand go nigh him. For I'm a devil at a quick mistake, and when I make one, it takes a form of lead. Oh, I've shot my share, Captain Jerry. Let's look at you.
There's nothing to apprehend, I assure you.
I'll apprehend why too, sir. 'Tis my work.
Well spoken, man.
He comes with a message from Tellson's Bank. You must know Tellson's Bank in London. I'm going to Paris on business. You've a message, Jerry?
It's all in this, Mr. Lorry, sir.
A crown to drink, guard, if I may read this.
Well, be quick, sir.
Wait. Wait at Dover for Mademoiselle. Well, it's not long, you see. Jerry, my answer is... recalled to life.
You say so, sir. Recalled to life. Indeed, that's lucky for something, sir.
Come on, get up then. We'll make our way.
Get up, then! So, get up!
That's a blazing strange answer, I declare. Recalled to life. Much of that wouldn't do for you, Jerry Cruncher, my lad. You'd be in a blazing bad way if recalling to life was to come into fashion. Recall to life wouldn't do for you, Jerry. I say that, Jerry. Come on, then. Come on.
Recalled to life, indeed. Oh, yes. And what will I say to her? Jarvis, Lorry, you're not the man to tell her. Oh, so tired. No experience in such business. No experience.
And the tired little man, wrapped in top coat and boots, woolen scarves, and topped off by a hat that was forever being pushed down over his eyes, dozed, and finally slept. What time the mail coach lumbered, jolted, rattled, and bumped upon its tedious way. Happen he dreamed a mite. Happen the jingle of the harness was like the jingle of coin.
Money rattling, money chattering, money chasing money. A run. Tellson's has a run.
He was a mite restless and kicked the straw about his feet as if he was running after something and crying out from time to time. In his sleep, mind.
520, 530, 500 and... Oh, what was it? What was it? Lost count. 304, 300...
A nightmare, it seems.
The storeroom doors hanging open. A key. Opened with my key. Opened with a great key. It is here. It is here. I know it is here. Lost. I've lost the dead. Buried and lost. Buried and... Dig. Dig him out. Dig him out. Lost. Buried and... Dig him from his grave.
I said a nightmare. So it seems. Let him be, I say. Nigh on in Dover. He's quiet enough now, poor man.
Easy, boy, be easy with them. Get them rubbed down in well water. They'd come the ways and done it well.
There's a toddy waiting, Tom. Compliments from Mr. Buckle and the Royal George.
Much appreciated, tell him. I'll find my bed then. Joe, a drink and a bed?
Well, drink anyway, Tom. We've one gentleman left inside, Mr. Gage. If you'd like to see to him.
That I will. You'll pass his luggage down to the boy, and I'll see to him. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the Royal George Hotel. We've rooms, we've food, hot and cold, and good ale, and private rooms, and fires and all.
And I left the coach with its damp and dirty straw, its disagreeable smell, and indeed its obscurity. Shook myself free of the straw, a shaggy wrapper, and stepped into the yard of the Royal George. All I wanted was news and a shave. Is the weather fit for Calais?
Oh, bless you. Your honour going hardly stopped. If the weather holds and the wind sets tolerable fair, there'll be a packet to Calais tomorrow, sir.
Good, very good.
The tide will serve pretty nicely at about 2 in the afternoon. A bed, sir?
I shall not go to bed till night, but I want a bedroom and a barber.
And then breakfast, sir? Yes, sir. That way, sir. If you please, sir. I shall Concord. Gentlemen's valise and hot water to Concord. Right, sir. Pull off gentlemen's boots in Concord. Right, sir. Along the corridor, sir, if you please. You will find a seat coal fire, sir. Fifth barber to Concord, there.
Right, boy, sir.
Stand about now. For Concord!
Wait for Mademoiselle. Wait. No time for sentiment, sir. Business. Business. Tomorrow, Paris. And business. Yes.
France, less favoured on the whole as to matters spiritual than her sister of the shield and trident, rolled with exceeding smoothness downhill, making paper money and spending it. It is likely enough that rooted in the woods of France were trees already marked by the woodman fate to come down and to be sawn into boards to make a certain movable framework with a sack and a knife in it, terrible in history. The woodman fate and the farmer death work unceasingly, work silently and with muffled tread. Outside a wine shop on a corner, the master stood in his yellow waistcoat and green breeches, watching. A large cask of wine had dropped and broken in the street.
Defarge, is it our wine?
Not our fair wife. The people from the market. Let them bring another. Good red wine flowing free and the people scrabbling like pigs in the trough.
Not pigs. Poor, thirsty, cruelly done by. Whose fault is that? You lose a barrel of sour wine and they sop it up in cloths while who drinks from gold cups and silver tankards? Do we? Do they?
Well said. Well said, Madame Defarge.
What did you want here, Jacques?
I brought a friend. You promised we could take a look at what you've got upstairs?
I don't know.
Oh, he gets softer every time he sees him. Every time he takes him bread, he comes back softer, I swear it. I'll knit you in my list yet, husband. You go and see his old master and see what masters come to. Go see.
God's life, wife. You hear him up there? Walk back, walk on. Back and on, back and on. Tap, 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 day in, day out. He begged me. Begged me. Lock the door, he says. Lock the door. I'll tell you, Jacques, when I saw him first out of the prison, I never knew him. And I've known him since I was a boy. His boy.
His servant.
Aye, servant. And now he begs me. Lock me in, lock me away. She begs me.
I promised a friend.
Be prepared then to weep.
Weep for what? Your old master. No master now, defies none. Is your friend all right?
All right, madame?
Is he with us, Jacques?
I swear. He's with us.
So, show him then. Outside, top of the stair, to the right.
Let him be quiet, or he'll be afraid again. And she sat behind the counter, my wife. Stout woman with a watchful eye that seldom seemed to look at anything. A large hand, heavily ringed. Steady face and great composure of manner. That's the truth. Steady. Uncrushable. She didn't often make mistakes against herself in any of the reckonings over which she presided.
Masters. Servants. For now. Yes, for now. And outside in the street of Saint-Antoine district a cloud settles. And on his face cold, dirt, sickness, ignorance, and want are the lords in waiting. People that had undergone a terrible grinding and re-grinding in the mills shiver at every corner. Pass in and out of every doorway, flutter in every vestige of a garment that the wind shakes. The mill grinds young people old. Upon every face the sign, hunger. Hunger pushes out of the tall houses, in the wretched clothing that hangs upon poles and line. Hunger patched into them with straw and rag and wood and paper. Hunger stares down from the smokeless chimneys and starts up from the filthy street that has no offal among its refuse, or anything to eat. Hunger is the inscription on the baker's shelves, at the sausage shop, in every dead dog preparation offered for sale. Hunger rattles its dry bones.
And in the street, one tall joker dips a finger in the gutter in the filthy lees of the wine and writes on the wall with his finger one word. Blood.
More coffee, sir?
Oh, those cutlets were very good. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, dear. Did I ask for accommodation for a young lady?
You did, sir. She will arrive at any time. She may ask for a Mr. Jarvis Lorry. Your good self, sir.
Quite so.
May I ask if that is Tellson's Bank of London, sir?
It is.
Oh, sir. We have often the honour to entertain your gentlemen in their travelling back and forth between London and Paris, sir. Vast deal of travelling in Tellson and Company's house, it seems. It would never suit me, sir. I always say, it would not suit Gage, I swear it.
We're quite a French house, as well as an English one.
Not so much in the habit yourself, sir, I venture. The travelling, sir.
It is 15 years since I came last from France.
Oh, that was before my time, of course. The George was in other hands at that time, sir.
I believe so.
But I'd wager a pretty penny that a house like Tellson was flourishing a matter of 50, not to speak of 15 years, sir.
You might treble that, and yet be far from the truth.
Oh, indeed, sir. More coffee?
Right.
Or another cutlet, perhaps?
I think perhaps some air. Should a lady ask for me?
I'll pass the message, sir. Oh, thank you, sir. I'm obliged.
Oh, the air among the houses is of so strong a piscatory flavour that one might suppose sick fish go up to be dipped in it, as sick people go down to be dipped in the sea. Fancy words. Jarvis Lorry, this is business. Business, and you do well to remind yourself. No sentiment. Business. Oh, the beach is a desert of heaps of sea and stone tumbling wildly about. The sea does what it likes. And what it likes is destruction. A little fishing is done in the port and a quantity of strolling about by night and looking to seaward, particularly at times when the sea makes and is near flood. small tradesman unaccountably realized large fortunes. And it is remarkable that nobody in the neighborhood can endure a lamplighter. Oh, it's a cold wind. To tell the truth, I am afraid to meet her again.
Mr. Lorry. Mr. Lorry, sir.
Huh?
A young lady has arrived and has inquired. She'll be happy to see the gentleman from Tellson's.
Oh, so soon?
Oh, she says so. She has already eaten on the journey and is extremely anxious if it suits your pleasure and convenience.
Of course. No attachment, no sentiment, business. Fancy again. Have a care. Business.
Mr. Lorry? Pray, take a seat, sir.
She's not more than 17. In a riding cloak. And see, still clutching her straw travelling hat by its ribbon. A quantity of golden hair, blue eyes. I'm afraid to tell her. So young, and that expression that is not quite one of perplexity, or wonder, or alarm. I remember a child in my arms. Have a care, Jarvis Lorry. Coming from France. A cold passage, I remember. Discretion. I remember her dear mother so. Fancy, Lorry. Be still. Business. I kiss your hand, miss.
I received a letter, sir, from the bank yesterday, informing me that some intelligence, some discovery...
The word is not material, miss.
I am confused. You must excuse me.
Would it be better if you rested yourself before we had this conversation?
No, sir. I understand the discovery to be in respect of the small property of my poor father. You will know that I never saw him so long dead.
Miss Manette, I have to prepare.
I understood I had to go to Paris and to talk there with a gentleman from the bank. A gentleman who was to be dispatched, was already dispatched to Paris for that purpose.
Myself?
I thought as much. I asked, as I have led a sheltered life and have no friend to go with me, if I might be permitted to place myself just for the journey under that gentleman's, your protection. I hope you have no objection.
I am happy to be entrusted with that honor. I think perhaps I had better.
I was told I would be surprised at the nature of the discovery.
Yes. Indeed, yes.
I have done my best to prepare myself, sir. I naturally have a strong desire to know what the details of that business may be.
Yes, quite. It is very difficult to begin.
Sir? Could you come to the fire, sir? I'd seen your face. I had the distinct impression. Are you quite a stranger to me, sir?
Am I not? Please, let us sit down while we talk of the business that sends us to Paris. It will be easier for me.
Sir.
In your adopted country, I presume I cannot do better than address you as a young English lady, Miss Manette?
If you please, sir. I have grown used to it, of course. I was a child, a baby, when I first came here.
Miss Manette, I am a man of business. I have a business charge to acquit myself of. Receive what I say, and take no heed of me more than if I had been a speaking machine. I am not much else. With your leave, I will tell you the story of one of our customers.
Story?
Yes, customers. In the banking business, we usually call our connection our customers. He was a French gentleman, a scientific gentleman, a man of great acquirements, a doctor.
Not of Beauvais?
Why, yes, of Beauvais, like indeed your father, Monsieur Manette. The gentleman was of Beauvais, like Monsieur Manette. The gentleman was of repute in Paris. I had the honour of knowing him there. Our relations were business relations. I had been with our French house then, 20 years.
May I ask, at what time, sir?
Well, I speak, miss, of 20 years ago. He married an English lady, and his affairs were in the hands of Tellson's. I was a trustee. In a similar way, I am or have been trustee to scores of our customers. A mere business, miss. No friendship in them, no particular interest, nothing like sentiment, I assure you. As I pass from one to another of our customers daily, I am a mere machine. No feeling. Business. So, to go on.
This is my father's story, sir. And I begin to think I do know your face. I'm sure of it. I was left an orphan when my mother died. She survived my father by only 2 years. You, sir. You brought me to England. I'm almost sure it was you.
Yes, it was I. You will understand, I'm sure, that I speak only the truth when I say that all the relations I have with my fellow creatures are mere business relations. You have been a ward of Tellson's since, and I have passed on to other customers. Feelings, I have no time for them, no chance of them.
I'm sorry for that, sir.
Oh, no, I passed my whole life, miss, in turning an immense pecuniary mangle. So, you have remarked this is the story of your father. Now comes the difference. If your father had not died when he did...
Oh, sir.
Hush, hush, now, don't be frightened. Oh, how you start. Pray. Now, as I was saying...
I'm afraid, sir, afraid.
No, please. If Monsieur Manette had not died, if he had suddenly and silently disappeared, if he had been spirited away, if it had not been difficult to guess to what dreadful place, though no art could find him, if he had an enemy in some compatriot who could exercise a privilege spoken only in whispers even over there...
What privilege, sir?
The privilege of filling up blank forms for the consignment of anyone to the oblivion of prison.
No.
If his wife had implored the king, the queen, the court, the clergy for news, any news, and all in vain, then the history of this unfortunate and your father would be one and the same.
Pray tell me more, sir.
Can you bear it?
I can bear anything save the uncertainty you leave me in, sir,
Well,
please.
you must regard it as I do, as a matter of business.
Oh, very well, sir. A matter of business. Tell me.
If this doctor's wife, a lady of great courage and spirit, suffered so intensely from this cause before her child was born...
The child was a daughter, sir.
A daughter. Don't be distressed. Now, if she suffered so intensely that she came to the determination of sparing the poor child the inheritance of any part of the agony she had known, determined to rear the child in the belief that her father was dead...
Oh, sir. Sir, please, tell me the truth, sir. In compassion, tell me the truth.
Please, miss, in heaven's name, don't kneel to me. Why should you? You confuse me, and I cannot transact business if I am confused.
Tell me the truth.
Now, tell me now, what 9 times 9pence are? How many shillings in 20 guineas? I'd be encouraged if you could. I would be more at my ease about your state of mind.
I'm sorry.
That's right. Courage. Now, you have business before you, useful business. Miss Manette, your mother took this course with you. She died broken-hearted, as I believe, having never slackened her search for your father. She left you at 2 years old to grow, to be beautiful, blooming, happy. Not with the uncertainty whether your father wore his heart out in prison.
My poor father, why?
Well, as to that, he has been found. Still alive.
Alive? Where?
He has been taken to the house of an old servant in Paris, and we are going to him. I to identify him, and you to restore him to life, love, duty, rest, comfort.
I'm going to see his ghost. It will be his ghost, not him.
There now. The best and the worst are known to you. You will soon be at his dear side.
I have been happy, and I have been free, and his ghost, poor ghost.
One thing more. He has been found under another name, his own long forgotten. We can make no inquiries, for that will be dangerous. No mention of his past, his name. There is danger in this. I carry no paper with his name about me. This is a secret service that we are on. We recall him to life. To life. Oh! Oh, my. Business. Help! Help me, please. Anyone there? Help! Miss Manette. Miss Manette.
Well, then, sir.
A wild-looking woman, whom even in my agitation I observed to be all of a red colour, and to have red hair, and to have on her head a most wonderful bonnet, like a grenadier wooden measure, or a great Stilton cheese, laid a brawny hand upon my chest and sent me flying back against the nearest wall.
What have you done to my poor darling? Let me see my darling. Oh, you, sir. Look at you. Get me water, sir. Don't stand there like a fool.
Oh, we heard a noise.
Well, you then. Get me water for my darling. Smelling salts and vinegar, and be quick. And I'll let you know if you're not quick, I will. And you, sir.
It was business.
Business, was it? Caused my poor darling to faint dead away. Business, was it? And what's your business to frighten my little one so? Oh, men. Oh, my precious, my bird, my dove, it's all right now. Pross is with you. You there, in brown. Couldn't you tell her what you had to tell her without frightening her to death? Look at her with her pretty pale face and her... Do you call that being a banker? Hurry up then, man. Don't stand there gawping like a twopenny servant girl. There now, my little one, there now, it's all well. The horrid man won't hurt you. He won't hurt you. There.
I hope you accompany Miss Manette to France.
Oh, a likely thing, too. If it was ever intended that I should go across salt water, do you suppose Providence would have cast my lot on an island? My dove. There. You, in brown, see they send me smelling salts, or I'll know the reason, sir.
It was the year of our Lord 1775. There was a king with a large jaw and a queen with a plain face on the throne of England. There was a king with a large jaw and a queen with a fair face on the throne of France. In both countries it was clearer than crystal that things in general were settled forever. The hangman, ever busy and never worse than useless, was in constant requisition. Today taking the life of an atrocious murderer, and tomorrow of a wretched pilferer who had robbed a farmer's boy of sixpence.
The wine shop on the corner was better than most others in its appearance and degree, and the master of the wine shop stood again outside it and looked on. He was a bull-necked, martial-looking man of 30, and he should have been of a hot temperament, for though it was a bitter day, he wore no coat, but carried one slung over his shoulder. Good-humoured looking, on the whole, but implacable looking too. A man, in short, not desirable to be met, rushing down a narrow pass with a gulf on either side, for nothing would turn the man. He looked down the street, as if waiting for a newcomer, turned back into the dark doorway of his place as the gaunt scarecrows sidled from puddle to mud into the ever darker shadows of the quarter.
Why should they come for such as your old master? I'll knit him in here, Defarge, my ledger. Manette shall be in my ledger with the rest.
No.
You're too soft, husband. I was telling my friends how soft you were.
Let the time come. Let this man come, for that matter. I'll be rid of my responsibility.
One way or another.
Madame Defarge, being sensitive to cold, was wrapped in fur and had a quantity of bright shawl twined about her head. Her knitting was before her, but she laid it down to pick her teeth with a toothpick. Thus engaged, She lifted her darkly defined eyebrows.
The old man in the corner, is him.
Maybe.
The young girl with him.
I don't know, do I? Leave it. Good day, Jacques. Another glass.
Oh, I've hardly finished this one, Jacques.
Were you here 2 days back when that barrel burst across the street? That was a sight.
Oh,
every mother's son with a cloth or a glass or a spoon sopping up the leaves from the gutter in the mud.
It's not often they get the taste of wine or anything but black bread and death. Is it not so?
It is so, Jacques.
It is a bitter taste that poor cattle have in their mouths, and hard lives, Jacques.
You are right, Jacques. Well, gentlemen, you should know my wife.
Oh, madame. You're welcome for what you are, comrades. Defarge, they will do.
Gentlemen, the room you wish to see is on the 5th floor. The doorway to the staircase gives onto the little courtyard, near the window of my establishment. But one of you has had the privilege. He can show the way, but I've other business. Gentlemen.
Defarge, the stranger, he's made up his mind to speak to you. Be careful, husband, be careful.
Sir, may I beg the favour of a word?
Willingly, sir.
A private word, sir.
We can step outside if that's private enough.
Have a care. There are Judas goats about the quarter, husband.
Which is the goat? That old man or the child talking to him?
Telling him to have a care, no doubt.
I will only be a moment, my dear.
I will be safe here, Mr. Lorry, no harm.
If you'll be so kind, monsieur.
Now, you have a name for me?
Tellson's, monsieur.
And?
A doctor, sir.
Yes. Of Beauvais.
His name?
Oh, no names, not here, sir.
I come from England.
They said you'd come. Tellson said. The girl was not mentioned, monsieur.
His daughter.
My God. I heard his wife gave birth and died.
Yes.
But his daughter, why? He was taken before the child was born.
We are, sir, here to assure ourselves that the man is the man we look for. The man you told our house that you had taken in charge. There is a matter of trust here, sir. No offence, I hope, and none intended, sir. But we must be sure. It is a matter of...
business, sir. Yes, we understand each other, I think.
Indeed, it is. It is just so.
You will take him when you are sure. You will take him with you. He is in danger here. I don't want him here. Now you understand.
I understand. My name is Lorry, monsieur. I came before. I took the mother and the child before. Her prayers were not answered then, but maybe, perhaps, if we are to believe in something, who can say if those prayers are not answered now? Miss Manette, don't be afraid.
Mr. Lorry, I am afraid. How can we be sure?
This man was servant to your father. It is your father. He will swear to it.
Mademoiselle.
Sir.
Oh, you are the doctor's child. I see that. You'll not know him, sir.
Show us the way.
I am afraid, Mr. Lorry.
Is he alone?
Alone? God help him. Who should be with him?
Is he always alone, then?
Yes.
Of his own desire?
Have a care, mademoiselle. You'll break your pretty shoes, else. He is alone, monsieur, of his own necessity. As he was when I first saw him, after they found me and demanded to know if I would take him. They warned me, at my peril, be discreet. As he was then, so is he now.
He is greatly changed.
Changed? Changed, you ask? Oh, yes. Changed.
Mr. Lorry, are you unwell?
No, only out of breath, my dear. Go on. Go on. We were soon at the top. There, as it had an abrupt turn in it, we came all at once in sight of 3 men whose heads were bent down close together at the side of a door looking into the room through some chinks and holes. The 3 turned and rose and showed themselves to be the 3 of one name from the wine shop below.
Hey, boys. Leave us. We have business here.
But, Jack...
You make a show of Monsieur.
I show him in the way you have seen to a chosen few. No harm.
He's there at the table, as you said. He never heard us, I swear that, Jack.
Good, Jack. Now, down you go. And not a word. Not a word. Are you ready, sir?
May we go into him?
When I have opened the door, you may.
You think it necessary to keep that poor man so retired?
I think it necessary to turn the key, sir. The child will be afraid, old man. Look to her. See her face. I'll turn the key.
But why lock him?
Why? Because he has lived so long locked up that he would be frightened, rave, tear himself to pieces, die, come to I know not what harm if his door was left open.
Dear God. Is it possible?
Yes. And a beautiful world we live in when it is possible. And when many other such things are possible, and not only possible, but done. Done, see you, under the sky, every day. Long live the devil. Let us go in, and you watch to the child.
Oh, Mr. Lorry, sir, I'm afraid.
Courage, business, Miss Lucie, dear miss.
But I'm afraid I'll not know. I never knew his face, heard his voice, felt his touch.
Hush now, the worst will be over in a moment. But pass through and the worst is over. And then think of all the good you bring him, all the relief, all the happiness.
How will I know? Will I know him for my father? Oh, I'm afraid of it.
Of it?
I mean of him, of my father.
Oh, come now. Let our good friend here assist you on that side. Friend Defarge, thank you.
He will not harm you, miss.
Business. Come now. Business. Long habit alone could have slowly formed in anyone the ability to do any work requiring nicety in such obscurity. Yet work of that kind was being done in the garret, for with his back towards the door and his face towards the window where the keeper of the wine shop stood looking at him, a white-haired man sat on a low bench, stooping forward and very busy, making shoes. Come, don't be afraid, Miss Manette.
Good day. Good day.
Good day.
Still hard at work, I see.
Yes, I am working.
It's like the last feeble echo of a sound made long ago. It has the faintness of solitude and disuse. Come closer, my dear child. No harm can come to you.
Oh, Mr. Lorry. So sad.
I forget.
So entirely has it lost the life and resonance of the human voice that it affected the senses like a once beautiful colour faded away into a poor weak stain. So expressive was it of a hopeless and lost creature that a famished traveller, wearied out by lonely wandering in the wilderness, would have remembered home and friends in such a tone before lying down to die. Courage. Business.
I want to let in a little more light. You can bear a little more?
What did you say?
You can bear a little more light.
I must bear it if you let it in.
Oh, poor.
Business.
He's so thin. His hair's so white. The hollowness and thinness of his face would have caused his exceedingly bright eyes to look large under his yet dark eyebrows and his confused white hair. His yellow rags of shirt lay open at the throat and showed his body to be withered and worn.
He and his old canvas frock and loose stockings and all his poor tatters of clothes had, in a long seclusion from direct light and air, faded down to such a dull uniformity of parchment yellow that it would have been hard to say which was which. He put up a hand between his eyes and the light, and the very bones of it seemed transparent.
Are you going to finish that pair of shoes today?
What did you say?
Do you mean to finish that pair of shoes today?
I can't say that I mean to. I suppose I don't know. I forget.
You have a visitor, you see.
What did you say?
A visitor. Here is Monsieur, who knows a well-made shoe when he sees one. Show him the shoe you are working at. The shoe. The shoe for Monsieur. Take it, Monsieur. Now, you tell Monsieur what kind of a shoe it is and the maker's name.
I forget what it was you asked me. What did you say?
Please don't.
Describe the shoe for Monsieur's information.
It is a lady's shoe. It's a young lady's walking shoe. It's in the present mode. I never saw the mode. I had a pattern in my hand.
And the maker's name.
Yeah.
The maker's name.
Did you ask me for my name?
I did.
105 North Tower. 105 North Tower. 105 North Tower.
See him, Monsieur. My old master. You knew him, sir. You knew Monsieur Manette.
Wait. Monsieur Manette. Monsieur Manette, you are not a shoemaker by trade.
I learned it here. I taught myself. I asked leave to I asked leave to teach myself, and I got it with much difficulty after a long while. Made shoes ever since.
Monsieur Manette, do you remember nothing of me?
Please. Mr. Lorry, leave the poor man alone.
Shh. Business, miss, business. Monsieur, do you remember nothing of this man? Stand in the light, man. In the light, if you please. Look on him. Look at me. Is there no old banker, no old business, no old servant, no old time rising in your mind, Monsieur Manette?
Have you recognized him?
Yes. For a moment, then. Miss Lucie, please.
Mr. Lorry, this is no longer business, if you please. My dear, dear. Oh, my poor, poor dear.
What is this? You're not the jailer's daughter.
No.
Oh, who are you? No, don't touch. No.
Hush, hush now, hush.
Hush.
What is that? What are you... Show me.
I have your hair. See, your hair. See, your hair. See?
What is he doing?
He's taken a bag from round his neck. A filthy twist of rag, you see? There are... In the light, I can see 2, 3 strands of golden hair. Miss Lucie, is this...
Your hair? It's just the same, but how can that be? When was it? Tell me, don't go. Tell me, don't leave me. 105.
I'm here. Don't be afraid.
They came for me. They came for me that night. I was summoned. She laid her head on my shoulder and begged me to stay. She was afraid, and they brought me to the North Tower. 100. They found these on my sleeve. I beg them. You won't take them. You won't take them? No. I told them my wife's hair. Your hair? I told them they could never help me to escape in the body. They may in the spirit. I told them I remember very, very well. I remember. Was it you? Was it you?
Miss Lucie.
Good gentlemen, do not come near us. Do not speak, do not move.
What, whose voice? Whose voice is that? Oh, no, tell me I'm not mad. Tell me I'm not mad. My dear lost wife. Oh, no, who is that? You're too young, it can't be. You see me, prisoner. These are not the hands she knew. This is not the face. This is not the voice she ever heard before the slow years of the North Tower ages ago. What is your name, my gentle angel? Tell me. Tell me.
Oh, sir, another time you shall know my name, and who my mother was, and who my father, and how I never knew their hard history. If you hear in my voice any resemblance to a voice that once was sweet music in your ears, weep for it. If you touch, in touching my hair, anything that recalls a beloved head when you were young and free, weep for it. It is over. It is over, and we go to England, and to peace and rest. If you think of your useful life laid waste, and of our native France so wicked to you, weep for it. My father, weep when I kneel, to honour my father and my dead mother. Weep for her and for me.
No, it's too cruel. Too cruel. What?
Gentlemen, thank God. I feel his tears on my face. See, at last he can weep.
You must take him, sir. Remove him. Is he fit for such a journey?
More fit than to stay in Paris.
Monsieur Manette is best out of France. I may hire a carriage and post horses. I'll see to the papers, but we will need money, sir, to smooth the way.
Business. And if business is to be done, I had best do it.
Leave us here. You will be safe. Lock the door to secure us from interruption. You will find him quiet here when you return. Then we may leave on the instant.
I'm not sure we should leave you alone.
He has wild ranges from time. He becomes angry at nothing. I have heard him at night.
He will be calm with me. Hurry, please. Mr. Lorry, to business, please.
As darkness deepened and the good doctor's old servant Defarge made all ready for the journey, saw to travelling papers and horses, while I passed by Tillson's bank and took money enough to pay our way, and then found meat and wine and bread. Together we brought the old man down the stairs, his confusion calmed by his gentle daughter. He got into the coach, and then...
Please, I need my shoes and the tools, please. Oh, what am I to do to pass the time, please?
I'll bring them. Husband, you'll go no further than the city gates.
No papers for me.
I'll fetch his shoes.
She's a good woman.
Some say.
Forever knitting. What is it she knits?
Get in, sir, and we'll be ready.
Here. Take them.
To the gates!
Monsieur Defarge, we owe you a great deal.
He was my master, sir, and good to me. Things change, monsieur. Times change. France changes. Your papers! Show them to the officer. Please go on. Now, this paper is for the white-haired old man inside. Here, look. Step aside, sir.
Why are we waiting here, Mr. Lorry? We must go on.
Wait. Be patient. It's a matter of business.
You may go on, monsieur. Good luck. Now, take your papers and show them if you are stopped.
You have been more than kind, sir.
Monsieur Lorry, mademoiselle, say adieu to your father for me. Adieu.
$18 105 North Tower. 100.
I hope you care to be recalled to life.
I can't say. I can't say. I can't say.